start that recording, and if you'd like to put these up to 90% for takeoff, so round about the green arrows there, and then once they're up there you can look at the end of the runway. Fantastic. I'll keep it straight with the rudder pedals, so don't worry about that too much. Just when we get to 130 on the speed, which is in the left, we'll pitch back about 6 or 7 inches up to 15 degrees. There's 130, fantastic. Hold that there, that's good. Lovely job. Okay, and that's 15 there, perfect. Nicely done. And you see how it's sort of trimmed to hold that pretty well. Yeah, that's good. And what the trim will do is it'll trim out any sort of control forces, so it makes it easier to maintain an attitude without having to, you know, really manhandle the aircraft. So we need a little bit of pitch down now. See how we've crept up to 20 there. That's it. Good stuff. There we go. Lovely job. Okay, so when we get to around about 3,500, then we'll start to pitch down to 5 degrees, and that should bring us about level at 4,000. I'll give you a bit of trim down. Good stuff. Okay, so just start to push down now, 5 degrees, push, push, push. You can be nice and aggressive with it, there we go. Lovely job, okay. Fantastic. So see how it takes quite a while to level off. You know, even with 500 feet compensation, we're about, you know, it took us 900 feet to do the level off. So it's quite a big, you know, big chunk, like 50 tons of an aircraft. So it really does, you know, have the inertia to keep climbing. So what we'll do now is we'll do a couple of turns. So if you want to turn onto a heading of 330, now what we want to aim to do in the turns, we've got an angle of bank indicator up the top, and what that'll do is it'll move in the opposite sense of the turn. So if we were to turn left, so the triangle here will move to the right, as it always points up 90 degrees from the ground. Yep. Okay, so we're going to basically rotate around that pointer. So if you pitch us over to the left there, we want to aim for 30 degrees, which is the third line across. We'll also need a little bit of pitch up in the turn to hold maybe about 7 degrees, and that should hold the altitude pretty much perfectly, just there, and then you can level it. Perfect, very nice. Okay, a little bit of pitch up, a little bit more roll, a little bit more roll the other way. That's it. Keep us coming over to the other side, so round onto this line here. That's it, good stuff. That's good, nice. A little bit less roll, a little bit more pitch up. Perfect. And then when we get to around about 10 degrees before, you can come almost opposite the other way, and then it'll start to roll us back. That's good stuff. Let's go to a heading of, okay, careful with the roll, a little bit less roll. Let's come round onto a right heading this time, so 090. Okay, fantastic. A bit more pitch up. A little bit more. That's it, around about the third line up, third increment up from the horizon. Be about right. Fantastic. Just about there. Good. A little bit less roll. A bit more pitch up. See how the altitude just gradually bleeds off. Yeah. That's because we're losing lift in the turn. If you work it out with vectors, you know we're not 90 degrees to gravity anymore. So that's good stuff. And then start to roll us level there. That's a good sort of compensation for the heading. Good stuff. Okay, bang on the heading. Very nice. Okay. Right then. So what we can do now is we can do. We've got an hour session, so we could do. You know, a couple of climbs, a couple of descents, maybe a stall, something like that. Tell you what, on the subject of turning, do you want to try? We could try a steep turn, you know, something like that. Yeah. It's basically where you go past 30 degrees, we can go to 45 and then maybe even 60. Okay. So what we'll need this time is around about 10 degrees of pitch at 45 degrees angle of bank. So that's going to be the next increment across. Okay. What we'll aim for, let's go with a heading, so it's going to be another right turn to 180. So let's try that now. That's good. less roll, less roll, less roll, that's it. And more pitch up. That's good, hold it there, perfect. And then if you look outside, you'll see how steeply we're inclined. That's good, very nice. Okay, and then start to level us off there. And a bit of pitch down to compensate for us coming back to straight level. Fantastic. Down to 5 degrees. There we go. Nicely done. Okay. So let's do it the same again to the left, but this time you can use visual reference. So what we'll do is we'll roll in on the instruments and then have a look outside and see what attitude relates to what you're seeing on the instrument display. Okay, so let's go to the left onto a heading of 060. Let's make it a steep turn. So 10 degrees of pitch and 45 degrees angle of bank. That's good, nicely done. Okay, and then have a look outside and see where the horizon intercepts the bottom of the screen there, and then you can see that the angle's around about 45 degrees, and if you keep the angle the same and the intercept the same, it should stay nice and level. That's very good. And then you look at the altitude, it's hardly moving, pretty much bang on. Fantastic. And ordinarily you'd never really do this kind of turn in an airliner. G&T's flying all over the place in the back. That's good. Okay, and then 10 degrees before, start to level us off. Fantastic. That's it. And then we're back the other way. There we go. Nice and level there. Good stuff. Okay, fantastic. Right, so, did you want to try a stall?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, we've got probably pretty much sufficient height, so what we'll do is we'll just turn the auto thrust off, so that no longer maintains the speed in the box. Manual thrust, so these come to idle. You see the engine spool down, and what I want you to do is try and maintain the altitude in that window there. So you can keep looking outside, see what happens to the nose attitude as it gradually climbs and climbs to try and maintain the altitude, but the speed will gradually decrease, and eventually you won't be able to maintain the altitude anymore, and you'll just start sticking out of the sky. And that's what happened to Air France in, did you hear about that crash? A couple of years ago, Air France 447.
Oh yeah,
crashed in the Atlantic. Mainly because they had unreliable speed readings on it, and it was telling them that they were stalling, and they didn't realise it exactly. So I think that's what happened to the
one the other day.
The recent one,
Asian one.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky stuff. Keep maintaining the altitude, so a bit of pitch up now. That's it. Otherwise the speed won't come back. It's a very slippery aircraft, so it'll keep speeding up until there we go. A little bit more pitch. More.
Pitch down.
Up a little bit.
I'll pitch up.
That's it. Good stuff. Try and maintain 5,000.
Okay.
Put that on. There we go. That's it. See how it maintains the speed continuously. We've got no power on at all, and it's just still slipping through the air. It's, it's very minimal drag on this aircraft. That's it. Keeps going up, 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 up a little bit more. Try and get back to 5,000, and that'll show you the stall. So we're in what's called the barber's pole at the moment, which is red and black, red and black, red and black. It means we're far too slow, and you'll see in a second that once we get past a certain speed, this will just start to shoot down. And you get a stall warning there, and you just can't maintain the altitude. Whatever pitch you put in, it just won't maintain it, even if it's there, So 80 knots, so just let everything go, and it should correct itself. And then what we do is we put full power, and pitch this up a wee bit. There we go, and then pitch this up to around about 15 degrees.
Okay.
Just there. Fantastic. Got quite low there. I didn't realise we were going to get that low, but there we go. There we go, nicely done. Okay, and then back to 5 degrees, and everything should be nice and level. Good stuff. Okay, so did you want to do a couple of landings now?
Yeah, great, please do.
Yeah, where did you want to go?
We'll try that Kai Tak place.
Kai Tak place? Did you want to do that straight away?
Well, we'll leave that till the end, actually.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Don't know. Somewhere American.
Somewhere American.
New York.
New York? Yep, sounds good. JFK. Okay.
No, at least you can say I took you to New York.
Right, there we go. So, let's change it. Right then, so you'll see the runway ahead of us in just a second. What we want to aim to do is keep the runway in the same position all the way down, okay? So if we just set the attitude quickly, so it's going to be around about there. So you see where the runway is on the screen now. We want to keep it as if it's like a squash fly in the same place all the way down. That'll ensure that we have a continuous rate of descent, keeping that aspect the same. And when we get to around about 30 feet above the runway, so you have what's called a radio altimeter on the belly of the aircraft, which sends out pings and gives you a very accurate reading of your exact height above the ground. When that says 50, 40, 30, it says 30, you want to pitch back about 2 inches or so. Okay. Not much more than that. That'll arrest our rate of descent, and then we can close the thrust levers and let the nose come down. Okay. So it's going to be a 3-step process. You just want to pitch back, close the thrust levers, let the nose come down. Okay. If you forget these, I'll do them, because a lot of the time you get quite tense towards the end. We'll see what happens. So just keep that runway in the same place, and I'll
that's
give
where you had the mouse first. Sorry, you know, your cursor.
Yeah, sorry, I should. Yeah, so just about there.
That one there, yeah.
Okay. That's the right-hand runway. This is the left-hand runway. Okay. So we're going for that one, and I'll give you prompts as we come down, left, right, up, down. Okay. Yep. Fantastic. Right. So we'll have auto thrust in most of the way down. What I'll do is I'll get the gear and the flaps and everything like that coming down, and that'll slow us down as well. So I'll do incremental speed changes, and we'll be landing around about 135 by the end. Okay. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to unpause you now. You should be pretty much trimmed, ready. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Right. So you see how the runway is slightly slanted. We want to sort of roll us over to the right slightly so that we can pick up the centre line. That's good. Nice and smooth, very nice. A little bit of pitch up. That's good. A little bit more, and then roll us back to the left there. That's it. Keep us coming left. There we go. And just there, so level the wings there, and then it'll gradually slide down in. There we go, fantastic. Okay, we're bang in the middle now, very nice. Good stuff, okay. That's it. Right, so we're at 180, down to 150, gear comes down, flaps come to 15. A little bit of pitch up. Give you a bit of trim. And don't worry about the attitude indicator inside, contrary to what I've taught you so far. Just keep your eyes on the runway. That's good stuff. Because the attitude will always change with the gear, like any configuration change. Yeah. You'll get a pitch attitude change. So that's fine. A little bit left. That's it. Good, good. Keep us coming left just a little bit. There we go. Hold it there. Then start a little bit of a right roll, just a tiny bit. Hold it there. That's good. Back to level. So a little bit further left. Bit of pitch up now. And then the wings level there, otherwise it'll slip down the turn. And the aircraft has a tendency to, so if you've got an angle of bank in, it tends to slide down its turns, and it becomes quite noticeable. I think it's because it's got a swept wing, it just tends to, it's too slippery. So it always does more than you expect it to. Yeah. So you almost need to level your wings, before you expect to have to. So it pitches up a wee bit, and then we can get the speed back to a little bit more. That's it. A little bit low. That's it. Good stuff. Nicely done. Okay, and a little bit right. Okay, and then you'll need to level the wings before you expect to. So A little bit of pitch down and level them there. Back to level, there we go. Otherwise it'll slip past, perfect. Nicely done. A little bit left, a little bit of pitch up, and a little bit right now. That's it, see how it slips through, there we go. Okay, bit of pitch up, hold that there, nicely done. A little bit right now. Hold it there, wings level there, just there, bang on, nice. Good stuff. There we go, nice. So auto thrust comes out, these are now manual, they're yours.
Okay.
So when we get to 30 feet, you want to pitch back, close the thrust levers, and then let the nose come down. Pitch back. Good, and let the nose come down, that's it. No, lovely, nicely done. Okay, fantastic. And reverse thruster just here, so if you want to pull those up and back, fantastic. And we've got a speed brake just there.
Just pull that back?
Yep, nice and speedy, perfectly. Nicely done, very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good first landing, good benchmark.
Bit of a bounce?
Yeah, no, it's just because...
it came down quite quickly, that last 50-40.
Yeah, exactly. And ordinarily these would be, the speed brake would be automatic.
Yeah. But
because it doesn't deploy automatically, you still have, so speed brakes are just big flaps that pop out of the wings.
Yeah.
You've got on. Yeah, so you see them up at the moment.
Yeah.
Just there, it's basically, say they basically spoil the air on the wings.
Yeah.
And when they, like, if they stay down, we can hit the ground, and then we'll still have the same amount of lift that we had before, as opposed to, if they deploy with the weight on wheel switches, then you just dump all the lift, and you've got very little chance of bouncing up again.
Yeah.
So it does make it a little bit harder. But what we need to do with the flare is pitch up, close the thrust levers, and then almost immediately let the nose come down. Because if you hold the flare in, because you can hit the ground as hard as you like, but as long as you're ready with pitch down, it's not going to be as obvious. So you can flare like a little bit, maybe a little bit too little flare, come down, push, and then if you're ready with that, the nose will stay down anyway, so that's fine. So just pitch back, close thrust levers, and let the nose come down straight away. Right. Okay, fantastic. All right then, so we'll pause us there. Let's change that back. Okay, where did you want to go now?
Ooh, will this be for another landing, or is this another take?
It's completely up to you.
Okay.
What do you want to get out of it?
We'll do another takeoff, actually.
Do another takeoff, that's fine. Yeah.
Don't know.
Where have you been? Any interesting places?
I won't say interesting. I've only been like foreign holidays, like Ibiza, Kos,
right, fair enough.
Paphos, that kind of place.
Yeah, sure. We could go to the Caribbean, something like that. Up to you.
Yeah, I'll go Caribbean.
Yeah,
Caribbean,
like
darling.
Go St. Thomas, quite picturesque. Take off, something like that. Okay,
that one.
Sounds good. All right. Okie dokie. Let's have a look. I think the code is. So, 15 degrees, let's think what's going to be the most picturesque way to leave. I think, so this should be about right. Basically, we've got a bit of a hill at the end, so we'll need to clear that. Yep. I'm not sure whether you can actually take off, with a 737 from St. Thomas. We'll see what happens.
On the front way.
We might need to use full power rather than 90%. That's fine. So, let's put that on. That's all good. Okay, so I'll unpause the set. So, 15 degrees for takeoff. What about 90%, and we want 130 knots or so, something like that.
Okay, yep.
Fantastic. Right, so you go ahead and do that, and I'll keep it straight. Lovely, nicely done. That's good. Just there, that's it, nice. Very good indeed, okay. So we'll just climb over these hills in front, A little bit of pitch down, that's it. Good stuff. Right, fantastic. Go off.
So do you find that when you're taking off, like when you've been doing your training, you know, you're always looking at your display as opposed to
yeah,
outside?
exactly. You know, you hardly ever look outside. It's very rare that you'll, because, you know, ordinarily most procedures are done with when you're in cloud or in bad weather, that kind of thing, and you need procedures that, you know, are all weather. So
yeah.
you hardly ever use visual reference. It's all very much instrument based.
Yeah.
And if you're over the middle of the Atlantic, so start to pitch down to about, you know, let's go to 4,000 feet. Yeah, if you're over the middle of the Atlantic, for example, you're not going to have any visual reference points at all,
yeah.
really. So it's got to be all instrument based, and that's much more applicable to the airliner environment anyway, you know. If you're just doing something like ferry flying, you'll probably
yeah.
do a lot of visual stuff, but it's quite boring in the airlines, I'm afraid. All very, very computer based.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Right, so let's do a couple of turns around the island. Let's go. Let's do a steep turn onto a heading of 300.
Okay. Anyway, left or right?
Probably get left, yeah. So, that's good stuff, and you probably need a little bit less pitch because we're quite fast at the moment. That's it. Good stuff. Okay, nicely done. A little bit less roll and a little bit more pitch. Nicely done. Good stuff. Okay, a little bit more roll. That's it. And a little bit more pitch. That's very nice. And then you should be able to see the island below us in a second. That's it. Good stuff. Okay, and let's go for a heading of, so start to level us off, we're just about there. We'll make a bit of a hedging change so that we're almost going directly back on ourselves. That's good stuff. Nicely done. Okay, so we could land back at here if you'd like to give that a go. This is basically a visual circuit. So what we'll do is we'll just head this way a little bit further, turn us onto a heading of, let's just see. So it's going to be 090, so that's going to be, yeah, so 280, so that's perfect. If you could put us on this heading here, okay. 280, that would be bang on. And that's basically, we're on downwind at the moment, so we're going the inverse, so this is where this comes in handy. Yep. The airport indicator, it tells us exactly where we are relative, so we're on the downwind leg. We'll come out to around about 3 or 4 miles, and then we'll turn back in and come down. Okay, good stuff. Right, so let's start to bring us down onto around about 3,000 feet, something like that. So what we can do here is the auto thrust will take care of everything. Probably want to pitch down, probably just below the horizon. Hold it there, that's fine, and then the engines will spool to idle, and the speed should be maintained around about 230, 220, something like that. Good stuff. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, let's make a slight heading change onto 290. So it's going to be a right turn towards this pink line here. That's it. Good stuff. And a bit of pitch up to 5 degrees. That's it. Just there. Lovely. Nicely done. Good stuff. Just purely because we did a steep turn to get onto this leg, so you don't want to be doing a steep turn to come in, level with the runway, if you know what I mean. So we'll head out a little bit further out to the side, and then we can have a nice wide circle in. Okay. Good. Okay, let's come down to 2,000 feet this time. So just below the horizon, auto thrust should sort everything out for us. Good, nicely done. That's it. Right, so keep us level there, that's good. And then we can kind of start to ignore the altitude a little bit, so we'll let that bleed off gradually, and we'll start to turn now to the left. So that's going to be onto a heading of 010, and it doesn't have to be too steep, so it should be about 30 degrees, should be about right. Let's hope. Actually, maybe even a little bit less, you know, probably 25, 20 degrees or so, and about 3 or 4 degrees of pitch.